Here are some vocabulary words that I thought you might need help with when you do this second set of multiple choice questions from Life of Pi, the passages from Life of Pi. The first word is epiphany. And the definition of epiphany is a character's sudden understanding of the significance of an object or a situation. A character suddenly realizes something about himself or herself or the world around him or her. An example of an epiphany is when in To Kill a Mockingbird, Scout has an epiphany about Boo Radley. She realizes that the things that Atticus has been trying to tell her all along about putting herself in other people's shoes and trying to understand other people's perspectives directly applies to her relationship with Boo Radley, her neighbor, who she has just sort of discovered the true personality of. So that's epiphany. The next one I wasn't sure if you were familiar with is catharsis. Catharsis is from the Greek. It started in Greek tragedy, Greek drama. And it's this process of releasing and thereby providing relief from strong or repressed emotions. Think about, well, here's an example from Romeo and Juliet. Romeo drinks the poison that he mistakenly thinks Juliet has tasted too. And then the audience realizes that they are both probably going to perish, which we knew from the beginning. But think about a movie that you've been to before where you leave and you have just been so emotionally into it that you feel kind of emotionally spent. That is the feeling of catharsis that the audience would receive when usually a drama has been so emotional that it helps the audience release those emotions, those maybe repressed emotions. So we'll think about how this might relate to Life of Pi too. The next word is monologue, which I think is a review for you. I hope so. It's just a speech that's delivered by one character in a novel or play, but I wanted to remind you of this word because you'll see it on the multiple choice passage. And I have a picture of someone from Julius Caesar. See if you can remember who is delivering this monologue at Caesar's funeral. Allegorical is the next one, and again, this should be a review. We've talked about this word in, excuse me, its noun form, which is allegory. So allegorical is the adjective form of allegory, which I hope you know is a narrative that has underlying symbolic meanings, such as in Animal Farm by George Orwell, when each of the characters and most of the situations that happen were directly symbolic of something that happened during the period of the Bolshevik Revolution and or the Russian Revolution. Carnivorous is flesh eating, and it comes from the word carnivore, which is the noun form. We've got our carnivore here pictured, Richard Parker. Examples of carnivorous animals include tigers, lions, cheetahs, hyenas, cougars, foxes, mountain lions, coyotes, hawks, polar bears, crocodiles, eagles, and wolves. And you may know some other carnivorous animals. As far as the origin of this word, carnivore comes from the Latin for meat and devour. So carnivorous animals feed only on animal flesh for their nourishment. Again, like Richard Parker. Illusory, you probably could have figured out because you know the word illusion, but something that is illusory is not real because it's based on illusion, something that we feel like might be there but it's not really. The picture example is a mirage. You can see how it looks like there's water on the road. This happens because of a reflection of light in this case. But try writing a sentence at this point. Just jot this down in your journal about something that happens in Life of Pi using the word illusory. And then you'll see that also in the multiple choice.